Well, hey everybody, welcome to our final week of our series, Now and Later. This week we're going to talk about what it means to be an influencer. From YouTube to TikTok to Twitch to makeup tutorials and everything in between, influencers have become the celebrities of our generation. Hey guys, don't forget to absolutely smash the like button and subscribe to our channel for the most recent updates. Okay, you guys, and this foundation is gonna complement your eyeliner to make it look like your eye is popping directly out of its sockets. No matter the platform, influencers have the greatest voice into this current generation. For the next 15 seconds, I want you to think about your favorite social media influencer. If you're watching the video with somebody, I want you to tell them who your favorite social media influencer is. And if you're watching online with us, please comment below or comment in the chat to tell us who your favorite social media influencer is. If you're watching by yourself, just go ahead and think of who that person is for the next 15 seconds. This week, we're not talking about just how to be I was fighting that back for so long when I did the wig, something got in my mouth. No matter who your favorite social media influencer is, there's no question that they have a huge impact on your day-to-day life and the day-to-day life of your friends. This week, we're not talking about how you can just be a social media influencer, but rather how you can influence the relationships in your life now to set you up for more success later on down the road. You see, Proverbs is a book that we've been looking at throughout this series that contains tons of sayings and snippets of wisdom that apply to our daily life that help us be better at life. And this week, we're going to look at a verse in Proverbs that unlocks the key to influencing relationships around us. You see, in order to have influence, you have to be able to be good with your words. And no, I'm not talking about manipulating other people or trying to trick them into something. Your favorite social media influencer, or just somebody that has influence in your life, has influence through the words that they say to you. You see, in order to have influence, you have to be able to rally somebody behind the cause that you're trying to get them behind. Or you have to be able to teach them in a way that they can understand. Or you have to be funny and entertaining enough that makes them want to come back and watch or hear what you have to say. You see, our words have weight. And this is so true not just in the way that we influence people, but also in the way that we interact in conflict in our relationships. You see, you may have heard the phrase a time in your life that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I'm here to say that I don't think that that's necessarily true, because words have weight, and words can lead to a whole lot of hurt. And we're going to look in the book of Proverbs at a choice that we have to make when we choose our words that will either set us up to influence other people or will set us up to experience a lot of catastrophe in our relationships. You see, Proverbs 15:1 tells us that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh response stirs up anger. You see, in every relationship that you have, there's going to be conflict. There's going to be a time, no matter if it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a coach, a mentor, that you disagree with the other person. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with experiencing conflict. But the way that we respond to that conflict and the words that we choose to say are what is either going to determine our success in influencing that relationship or lead to a disaster in that relationship. You see, Proverbs tells us that a gentle answer can actually turn away wrath. Maybe you've experienced this in a conflict in your life where you're arguing with somebody and they're getting more and more and more intense and they're getting more heated, and your initial response is just to continue to fire back, because at the end of the day, all of us want to win the argument. But what Proverbs is suggesting is that if instead of using a harsh word to try to win the argument, we use a gentle word and we try to win the relationship. You see, a harsh word can be defined as something that you say to try to clap back or insult or one-up the other person so that you look correct, so that you, at the end of the day, win that argument. But just as Proverbs suggests, when we use that harsh word, when we one up the other person, when we just get back at them, all that does is stir up anger. And in a moment, just because you said the wrong thing at the wrong time, you lose all influence into that relationship. What Proverbs is suggesting to us is that in order to maintain influence in our relationships, when we experience conflict, when we go to respond when something happens that we maybe disagree with or don't like, instead of looking to use a harsh word to win the argument, we look past the situation, we look past the conflict and past the hurt, and we look towards the person. You see, when we respond gently, we're responding based on winning the relationship, not winning the argument. And as a result of this, we maintain that relationship. It actually, as Proverbs suggests, turns away wrath. It turns away anger. It deflates all animosity between you and the other person. And in that moment, when you choose your words to be gentle and not harsh, you maintain influence in that relationship. This leads me to the big idea for the day. So if you forget everything else I've said, I hope that you remember this one thing, that the words you choose determine your level of influence. The words that you choose in your relationships, the words that you choose to comment online, the words that you choose when you're in conflict with your boyfriend or girlfriend, parents or teachers, are going to determine whether or not you have influence in that relationship in the long run. You see, when your friend sends a text message in the group chat that makes you think, whoa, why are they firing at me? Instead of getting all upset and just firing a response back that makes it look like you're the boss still, why don't you try giving that friend a call and saying, hey, I'm reading into this text message, and I think I might just being a little too sensitive, but can you tell me what you meant by that? Or when your parents say, no, you're not going to your friend's house, instead of throwing a temper tantrum and getting angry and say, you never let me do anything, what if you just paused for a moment and said, hey, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but could you just tell me why I can't go over to my friend's house? Is it an issue of a ride? Can I help some way to make sure that that can happen? Or when your teacher gives you a grade that you don't agree with or the grade you didn't want, instead of being disrespectful or starting a rumor about them, maybe just try approaching them and saying, hey, I didn't get the grade I was looking for. Is there something I can do better next time? Do you see the difference between the responses that we can have when we use a harsh word or a gentle word? If you want influence into your life, if you want influence into your relationships, Proverb tells us we have to choose our words carefully. Because right now in society, we are surrounded by people who want to do nothing more than just win the argument. They want to insult the other person back. They want to one-up them. They want to make sure that they look good, that they self-preserved during the argument. And as a result, that person doesn't have any influence in their circle of friends. But if you as a middle schooler or high schooler want to have influence in the people around you, choose your words carefully. And look to choose gentle words that win the relationship, not harsh words that win the argument. And I think if you do that, you have a lot more influence in those around you. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us again this week. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and join us next week on Zoom at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, and we'll stream the next series all together. We'll see you then.